It played for laughs on the big screen, but for women in DC in the 1920s, street harassment was a daily reality. Across the city, they were getting catcalled, propositioned, or even assaulted. And the problem had only worsened during World War I, when predatory men, called mashers, had taken to offering rides to any young woman they encountered.
May I drive you home?
No, thank you.
But it was the roaring 20s. Women had won the right to vote and had more freedom than ever to work and dress as they pleased. Now it was time for freedom from the scourge of unwanted male attention. So in February of 1923, 10 women founded the Anti-Flirt Club of DC to take the issue head-on. Their manifesto was 10 points, all directed at women, including don't flirt, don't accept rides from motorists, don't go out with men you don't know, and don't wink. To raise awareness, they distributed Anti-Flirt Club buttons and scheduled an Anti-Flirt Week for March 4th. It was a rather conservative approach to combating street harassment, targeting the behavior of the victims rather than the perpetrators. In contrast, women in New York City had started a Smash the Masher crusade, citing the example of a woman who had pushed a masher against a building and pummeled him until police came. Some women, like Democratic political leader and suffragist Emily Newell Blair, were skeptical of the club's approach, although Blair emphasized that something ought to be done to make the streets of the national capital safe for young girls. But at least one powerful man was wholeheartedly in support: Oklahoma Representative Manuel Herrick, also known as Okie Jesus. It would not be an exaggeration to say that Manuel Herrick was among the most bizarre men ever elected to the United States Congress. A local celebrity due to his mother's insistence that he was the reincarnation of Jesus Christ, Herrick was known for his law-breaking before he was known for his law-making. In 1893, as a teenager, his attempt to rob a train with a revolver had earned him a brief stay in an insane asylum. Upon entering the House of Representatives in 1921, he took aim at a new target: beauty pageants, which he claimed preyed upon young women. At the same time, he sent letters to 47 women who had participated in a recent district beauty pageant, inviting them to compete to marry one of the 15 men who are now living on the earth who can look God and all humanity square in the eye and say, "Against my body there rests no moral stain." That man, of course, was Manuel Herrick. When knowledge of his pursuits became public, Herrick claimed that they were an attempt to underline his point about the dangers of beauty pageants. "It is for the protection of these girls. It is for their own good," he told the Washington Times. The women thought differently. Herrick became the target of multiple lawsuits and even violent threats from their families. But that scandal didn't stop him from addressing the Anti-Flirt Club at a meeting on March 5th. "Grit your teeth and forge ahead in your righteous cause," he told them, adding his own rules to their manifesto. Never believe anything a man tells you, and never enter newspaper beauty contests. As it turned out, Manuel Herrick wasn't the only one in the Anti-Flirt Club with an ulterior motive. In March, a series of ads began to appear in DC newspapers, advertising a new movie from Universal, The Flirt. Based on a novel by Booth Tarkington, the movie starred Eileen Percy as a young woman whose many dalliances wreak havoc on a Midwestern town. At the top of the ad, "Were you a member of our Anti-Flirt Club?" On March 9th, the Washington Daily News exposed the club for what it was: one of the most successful publicity campaigns in press agent history. It was the brainchild of Miss H.R. Merrill of the Universal Film Company, who had corralled about a dozen girls, told them what it was all about, had some anti-flirt banners sewed up, and elected herself secretary. All this may help explain the particular track the club seemed to take. DC's Anti-Flirt Club placed the brunt of preventing street harassment on the women being harassed. Its aim was to get the attention of the predominantly male press, and at that, it succeeded wildly. Less than 2 months after addressing the Anti-Flirt Club, Manuel Herrick was convicted of disorderly conduct for harassing a young woman on New York Avenue. The club may have been fake, but the problem of male harassment was all too real. For more DC history, visit our Boundary Stones playlist and subscribe to WETA PBS on YouTube.